All right. Well, good afternoon. If you have heard our Facebook live stream thus far, you'll know we had a little technical difficulty this morning going Facebook Live with our friends from Chadwell Supply. So we're recording this meeting on Zoom and then we're sharing it on our Facebook page. So y'all are watching this in a little different format, but it's going to be exciting nonetheless. So this edition of our weekly Spotlight is the first in an evolutionary process that we're working on with the Spotlight to feature our associate members. Our associate members are such great partners to us at the GCNKAA, and we're working to figure out how we can make the most of this new social distancing world that we're all living in through virtual interaction. And I joined the associate council meeting last week, which was incredibly exciting and fun. And Rick and Tony reached out, and Trisha from Chadwell Supply, and said, hey, we'd love to help you with this new initiative, and we'll be the guinea pig, for lack of a better word. We'll be the feature of the inaugural weekly associate member spotlight, which is what we're going to try to do until we can get back together. Not saying we wouldn't spotlight a primary member or someone else, but right now we're going to just spend time getting to know our associate members a little better and getting to know the services and products that they can help us with. So without further ado, you'll see this lovely backdrop of downtown Cincinnati, which is amazing. I've not seen that view from this particular angle in my life. And look at those white clouds and blue skies. We didn't think we were going to have that this morning. So this has worked out perfectly. But we have Trisha Hendrickson, Rick Holste, and Tony Krebs, who I mistakenly called Dave a little while ago. We had a great meeting with Dave Locker this morning, so I had him on the brain. But Trisha, Rick, and Tony are with us from Chadwell Supply. I'll let them disclose their location if they want to this morning. But could I just ask you three to take a moment, introduce yourselves, tell us what you do with Chadwell, and tell us where you are this morning or after.
Hey guys, this is Tony Krebs. We're very excited to be here today. I'm very excited to be the guinea pigs for this Zoom meeting. Most people out there probably know me. I've been around for 40 years. As of this month, I just hit my 40-year mark. I've been in the industry 1 year now, this month with Chadwell Supply, and it's been just a fabulous year. Had a great time with everything that we're doing. I want to turn this over to Rick and let him tell them about himself.
Good morning, everyone, and yes, thank you for joining us this morning. As you can tell, we are live and outside. We are not going to disclose our location because Tony's going to make an announcement at the end. So I certainly hope that a lot of you guys will chime in once this goes live on Facebook. I've been in the business, ironically, 4 years myself. So it's been a great journey. Wouldn't change one step of it along the way. It's been fantastic. So 40 years for me, worked with some great partners. So Trish, chime in.
Hi, good afternoon. Trisha Hendrickson. I've been in the industry for 21 years out of the Columbus market selling maintenance supplies. That came on board with Chadwell Supply 3 years ago as the national account manager, and I've had the opportunity and pleasure to be a part of the Cincinnati market.
Well, welcome all three of you. And I would ask now if one of you would just maybe take a moment and tell us a little bit about Chadwell, about the business and about the services and products that you provide.
Chadwell Supply basically opened their doors again for business in 2007. They started in Florida. They really had no plans of growing to the degree that they are today. We're now in 13 states, getting ready to open up 2 more as we speak. We're actually in Kansas City, and then the other one out in Arizona will be opening up later this year. So their staff, they got warehouses there they're pulling merchandise out of, and everything is going along. So what happened is some of the past associates that worked for Chadwell in the past found out that what they were doing, reached out to the owners, which is still a privately run, family-run, Christian-based company, and they said, hey, we want to come back and work for you again. We loved what you did before. We want to do it again. So they came back. They opened up a couple more places in Miami, in Florida State, and then they went to Atlanta. And then from there, we just kept growing. So it's taken 13 or 12 years to get to this point. But they're going to continue to grow. It's a great company to work for. You know, we can get into that later as we talk about our products, but I'm extremely proud to work for the Chadwell family.
Fantastic. Thank you. Well, speaking of products, I know we talked a little bit in preparation for this about what an absolutely unprecedented time this is in the pandemic and how having things like PPE and certain supplies have been our really lifeline to as primary members being able to provide the essential service of managing the apartment communities that we manage. So how has Chadwell sort of pivoted and made themselves available to support the new focus on our supply needs?
I think Chadwell's done a phenomenal job. Again, with us being privately owned, we've got the flexibility, and the owners have really done a great job thinking outside of the box and looking towards other sources and other vendors that we wouldn't normally work with, so that we can get product availability to our to all the apartment complexes that we service. We've able to find masks and gloves and sanitizer and sanitizing stations and just everything I know other people have had a really hard time finding. So it's been a real blessing that our owners have, taken the initiative to find these products for us. It's easy to forget sometimes that there's all these other products that we sell and that the communities need, because it's kind of overtaken our daily lives currently.
Well, because you have so many displays set up there, would you like to take a moment and showcase some of the things that you have set out there that are probably very helpful products to those of us operating on the multifamily side?
Well, one of the items, and we all better get ready for it starting next week. Those temperatures are getting ready to, they're heading up. And we have a full line of all the air conditioning supplies. We've got our brothers, we brought one of our brothers kind of condensers. We also carry the Goodman line. We've got gauges. We've got all the items that you're going to need. All the refrigerants you're going to need. We're fully stocked at this point, and we're ready to go. All you have to do, you can either call Rick or myself at any time. We'll be more than happy to take those calls, and we will make sure that those orders get processed immediately. You can also call customer service. That's the simplest way too. And again, those will be processed. And keep in mind, our trucks are running. We'll take those orders till 6 o'clock at night, and that's going to be on the truck the next day to you. Wow. Especially with the way that it's been for the past 2 months. You've pushed work orders to the backside a little bit. Those are going to start to come in. Mm-hmm. We're ready. You give us a call. We're going to have the products for you, and we'll get them moving forward. Rick?
Well, I'd also touch on pools. They're opening in Ohio now. Not sure about Kentucky. So we've been getting a lot of calls for pool supplies, and we have a full regimen at hand ready to be delivered to your apartment community. So just kind of keep that in mind. And I will touch on one other thing real quick, because I know we're going to go into other products. Is, currently we got our Volume 14 catalog out. Our Volume 15 is held up in the printer like everybody else. This COVID-19 decided to put the brakes on everything. So we've got a multitude of new items that are coming in, and we've added a lot of pool chemicals and whatnot that are needed. So feel free to reach out to us. And if we can't get it, we can help direct you to someone that will carry it. We're not against doing that.
Right.
Keep in mind, we've also stocked a small warehouse in the Cincinnati area. So there are certain items. If you do need them, let us know. We may have them. We might be able to get them to you that same day. Just get with Rick and I. We'll let you know on that. We also have our May flyer that's out right now. It has several different supplies on it, sent by Rick right there. Again, we'll be out and about, and if you'd love to see us, let us know. We'll swing by your properties. We'll show you all the new items that we've got. We can bring you catalogs, we'll bring you the flyers, along with all the new PPEs that we have. We're happy to share whatever we have at this point.
Wonderful. What have been, would you say, maybe the top 3 products that you have sold over the last, call it 60 days in this pandemic?
I'd say the mask for sure. We've got the 3-ply surgical mask. We've also got plenty of the KN95 masks in stock for next day delivery. We've sold a lot of sanitizer, liquid. I know soon we'll have some gel sanitizer coming in, so stay in touch with Rick and Tony, because they can keep you up to date on our ETAs on that.
Right.
Another thing that we actually have a source for that maybe some people hadn't thought about is signage on the properties.
Yes.
That says, social distancing, 6 feet apart. There's also some dry erase signs that we just got information on this week, where you can put recently sanitized and put the date and time on it. That way throughout the day as you're cleaning.
Right.
Update those times that as people are coming into the office, they know that you kept everything clean. Or then the bathrooms if you're going to open the pools.
Right. Well, that's really good to know. That's something I know my group has spent a lot of time on this week in particular in anticipation of our amenity spaces opening back up and, you know, our traffic getting heavier is signage. So that's really helpful to know. Thank you. Well, just to kind of tie in your company and what a great service you provide to us through having the supply of things we need to operate. Why don't you share just a little bit about how your relationship with the GCNKA has evolved and how that has set you up to really grow in this area?
Well, for myself, you know, it goes way back to the 80s, and when we were tied with the Home Builders Association. So with Columbus Parts back in that day and Pure Angeli, we go to our trade shows, and for me, it's been a blessing to be part of this association, to watch the association grow to what it's become today. You know, back in the beginning, it was like we were an afterthought with the home builders and kind of put off to the side. And then as we broke away and they developed this association, it's just become bigger, better, and stronger. And I tell everybody this, you know, if you want to get involved with the association, get involved. You know, if you're going to be a member, that's great. But get involved to give back. You have to be of a giving heart to be able to do what we do. The outreach is just blown up left and right. The association itself has gotten stronger. I mean, if you go to the NAA and you listen to people talk, GCNKAA has been talked about. So for me, it's an honor, it's a privilege to get associated, be part of this association.
Yeah, the association, from my perspective, again, I've watched this from the infant stages all the way to what it has. Much for me, with all the training and with the training and the journey for the price of the ticket, I've enjoyed every minute of it. Everybody within the association, they're wonderful people. Most of my best friends are out of this association now.
Yeah.
And I look seeing those guys once this in school, of course. But there's within the association as well, as Rick alluded to a little bit there, there's committees you can get on, membership to the golf committee, to plethora of them, and you should. You'll enjoy it. So come, but you got to allow it to take its course. It's all going to, the buyer's going to be there and everything's going to happen immediately. It's not. Well, you'll evolve with it. So I would encourage everyone, get involved, stay consistent with it, and just let it come to you a little bit after that. And
right.
again, I would pick for the world. Best 4 years.
And I'm the market. I've always involved in other associations, and thrilled to be so involved in all of the associations in the markets that we're in. But I've really been blown away by the Cincinnati market and how their primary members all come together. It really does feel like a family, and it's just awesome to see how many people attend all of the events. It's really been great. I've really ready to get to know associations that you guys put on and we're able.
Yeah.
Looking forward to being able to get back.
Interesting too, just part of the fun that we wanted to have today. If I can get a little bit this way, you're going to see we actually have the Rick Holste hot dog station set up as if we were on the call. Okay, so for all the folks that do get to see this, you're going to love the whole fact that, you know, this is a memorable day, and Rick, as you can see, and I actually even brought clubs along too.
We're having a little bit of a technical difficulty. I think the internet connection.
We're not drinking any.
Internet connection is a little
We're
spotty.
golf. We'd like to, but we're not going to.
Yeah.
These are really steam coming off of that. Yeah. Let me taste it for you and see how it works.
Don't hate because Rick Holstein hot dogs, which anyone that's been involved with the association for all these years knows when you get to the golf course, the number one thing you're looking for, the first thing that every golfer looks to find is what hole is Rick Holstein on today, because that's the time you're going to get your 2, 3 to 5 hot dogs before you move on. And many golfers will circle back around several times. So
I think it's funny. We were talking about eating on camera, and you guys have taken that to another level.
We did. And you know, for a short time, I was with Right Rug. Bill Schwab turned me on to some of these Mets that are made on the west side of town. So in our next outing, just so everybody knows, they will be incorporated.
Nice. Well, here's we can get a fall golf outing in, or an early 2021 golf outing. I know that's a hot question out there these days.
Well, the GCNK does such a great job with their golf outings. I mean, I've played in many golf outings in my entire life for many different companies, organizations. I don't know anybody that does any better than what the GCNK does for golf outings. It is the most top-notch event that you're going to have.
We do it so good, we do it twice.
Why not? Why not? And to my buddies Rod and Dave and Dennis and all you guys, you know, I can't wait. Trinity, Megan, we'll get out there and we'll get to play some golf too.
Yeah.
Get that done.
All right, gentlemen. Well, I really appreciate it. I definitely think set a new bar with our associate member spotlight. I would love to take just a couple more minutes on a personal level if we can. I would be remiss if I didn't give you the opportunity to share a little bit more about yourselves. And I'd like to first ask if each of you will take a moment and just share a memorable story. Having, you know, literally decades of experience in this industry, I'm sure you have seen your fair share of insanity. We didn't need a pandemic to have stuff to talk about in this industry. But why don't each of you take a moment and share a memorable story from your experience in this business?
Jump in, Tony. You got to have something.
Oh man, we don't have enough time.
We don't have that much time.
And I don't want to, you know, with all the things that we've seen over all the years. Again, a lot of us started out when there was just a fax machine when that was introduced, and you know, the digital pagers. So to come up with something that would be memorable. What really is most memorable to me about the industry was all the years that I've been able to get to know people, and more for me, it was more about the teaching and training. And a lot of you guys know I worked for Village Green for many years, and during those years at Village Green, I was a trainer, and I got to spend a lot of time with just about everybody inside that organization, and I got this whole box of cards that I've received over a lifetime from different people that attended classes or that I got to know. They were just thank you cards. And to me, those cards, I'm telling you, it's the most special box of cards that I have at home. There's times that I'll open that up and I'll just look through them, and it reminds me of why I do what I do, why I love what I do. And outside of my family, this is my family, and I just love every minute of it. So I don't know, that's probably kind of quirky to say the least, but I'm going to leave it at that.
Makes me like you more, Tony.
Well, I can say that Tony's talking about saving the box of cards. Over the years, I've had people send me some inspirational messages and card thank yous, and because you do so much for the association and for other people, it's so ironic that Tony and I started basically the same time in our lives. I'm his older brother, I guess, if you can call us that. He and I have a connection, I think, since the first day I seen him picking up trash. So, I mean, we go all the way back through the years. And now to come to find out that he stores and keeps the same things that kind of like I do, it's very interesting. Because they're special moments. You know, we can go and talk about when the weekend I was working of the Freezer Bowl, if anybody's old enough to remember that. I'm working in an apartment community, and I'm having to shut down broken pipes, water pipes that are broken, shut-offs are downstairs. You got to run outside, turn it off. By the time you run back in, your head's frozen because it's, what was it, minus 32 degrees or whatever it was that day. Worked that whole weekend, probably 24 hours straight. It was an interesting time in my life. But again, to share, any of those experiences you don't want to take away from anyone because there's so many.
Right.
And it's just, I'm blessed and truly blessed to be in this situation and to be able to work with the people I work with. It's great. I'm at the best point of my career in my life right now.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Kind of a similar take just with Rick and I have actually worked together since 1999. But I took a couple year hiatus off back in 2015 to 17 and ended up going into a completely different industry. But anybody who knew me in Columbus knew me for my notebooks. I kept everything in a notebook. And so I had piles and piles of them in my garage. And when I was gone for those 2 years, I just could not bring myself to throw all of those notebooks away because it just held too many memories of people and companies and customers. And so when I got asked by Chadwell to come back into the business, my mom said, you know, you were never going to leave or you would have thrown all that stuff away. It was just exciting to be back and be back in the business. And hopefully I'll be here till I retire.
I love that. And I'm glad to hear I'm not the only hoarder of memorabilia type stuff. I save cards and things like that too. I save planners, not notebooks, but I think I have every planner from every year that I've ever been a grown-up. So I love that. All right. Well, last question, and then we'll circle back at the end to see if there's anything else you want to showcase as we close out. But the last question that I'd like to ask each of you is that if you have a piece of advice that you would share with maybe new associate members to the GCNKAA or new people in this industry just getting involved and maybe starting out their career, what is a piece of advice that has really helped you on your journey?
I would say get involved and don't be afraid to work hard. There's so many opportunities in this business for you to grow. There's so many people that start off as a groundskeeper and now they're an owner. Maybe you move into a vendor role or maybe you move into a community. But there's just so many opportunities to make this a lifelong career.
I'd say also listen, learn. You have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Ask your questions, but be in tune to who you're talking to and take to heart to what they're trying to teach you. I mean, I think you're going to find in our world, a lot of the associates want each other to succeed. So therefore, we're going to try to help each other, no matter if we're partners in crime with the same company or competitors or a different company altogether. You know, we're here to service the apartment industry, and that's what we need to do. But you got to have a knowledge base behind that to help you grow. So I think if you're very new to this industry, take the excitement of that newness and learn from it.
You know, it's a great question, first of all, Melissa. Thank you again for having us here. And it's interesting because we were going to do a customer service class at the trade show this year, and I was really, really energized for it. It had a lot into this, and it was just very disappointing in one aspect that we didn't get to do that. But you know, some other point, some other time that'll come around. And it's always when I try to prepare for these classes, I'm all over the place, and I'm notes going everywhere. And my wife sent me a meme the other day, and to me it just hit home, and I think I shared it with you, Melissa. It really hit for me. It was simply, you know, we're all climbing a mountain, and on that journey up that mountain, we can either sing or we can complain about our aching feet. The operative part to this is we got to climb that mountain. I chose a long time ago, I'm going to sing, and that's the path I'm going to take. And I think that kind of summed it up for me. I don't know why, and I don't know why. That's very simple. Probably, I don't know. Maybe it's not quite what everybody else believes, but for me, that's the way I approach every day. You know what? There's problems out there. I'm not going to worry about it. We're going to sing. We're going to get to that finish line, and then we're going to celebrate. Simple as that.
I love it. Thank you so much. All 3 of those pieces of advice were fantastic. And it is, you know, it's about perspective. So, you know, life's going to go on regardless of how we feel about it. So you can choose to do what you can do and handle what you have the control of handling, and waking up every day with a smile. Rick Holste, you know, I've never seen you have a bad day. I'm sure you've had a few, but you choose to exude the positivity. And Tony shared that very quote on a Facebook post of mine. And I was like, oh, wow, I'm a sucker for those kinds of motivational and inspirational quotes. So thank you again. This has been absolutely fantastic. I'm sorry for the technical issue, but we will figure this out. We'll make a Facebook Live post and then share this video. And I think today worked out perfectly. The skylight, look at the sky. It's beautiful.
Beautiful.
It's blue. It's like Chadwell blue. It matches your shirt, Tony.
We dialed that in for today.
That's amazing. We were afraid it was going to rain and be windy and we couldn't hear. I heard birds chirping at the beginning of this video. I'm like, are we in Cinderella? What's going on here?
So cool.
Well, as we round it out, I just wanted to give you one more opportunity to just let our members know anything further about Chadwell that you'd like to say, and then we'll close it out.
I've got two things. One, let's remember what this weekend's about for our veterans.
Yes.
Memorial Day, very special time for our country and for each other personally for the reasons that you hold near and dear to your hearts. Mm-hmm. And the COVID-19 has come through and really kicked us in the gut. And, you know, we're all kind of struggling through that. I see light at the end of the tunnel, but who knows when that's going to happen. So along with that, you know, I'm going to go ahead and put my mask on to know that we are social about what we think about each other, and safety comes first. So we were all given these masks. So when you see us make a call on your property, this is what we're going to look like. We're going to come through. We're going to take care of you, service your needs. That's never going to change. And again, we thank you for this time. I think it's wonderful, and God bless America, and God bless our troops. Thank you very much. Tony?
Well, we started off earlier, and you said, what a beautiful view you have. What a beautiful place you guys are at. And part of the reason why we're here is we have these really cool set of gauges right here. I know I've got a lot of buddies out there in the AC world that could use this set of gauges. What we're asking you to do when this goes on Facebook or once it's posted, post back. You figure out where we're at. You put it in the message of it, and then we're going to put all those names into a hat from the folks that get it right, and then we'll draw one out, and we're going to deliver these gauges to you at a later date. So we wanted to make this a little bit of fun, and that's kind of the fun thing we want to do. But yes, we are at a gorgeous place, and for the people that might know me and they know my family, you might be able to figure it out. That's your hint.
There you go.
Just remember where Ohio is, or where the city of Cincinnati is. And if you're looking at it, there might be a great big body of water in between. So I just gave you.
For those of us geographically challenged, thank you.
Let's let Trish close us out.
No, just thanks again for giving us this opportunity. We've really enjoyed it and appreciate everything that you do for us. And we're happy to be partners. And everybody have a great Memorial Day weekend. Be safe. And look forward to seeing you on the properties with our masks on.
Thank you all very much. And as an operator, I would love to say thank you for that kind of sign of solidarity and respect. Our associates on site are required to wear that PPE. And I recognize as you guys were, talking that you kept your distance from one another, and that's very respectful. So I want to say thank you for that. We appreciate that and appreciate all you do and all of the just engagement that you all have. Rick and Tony, you're the first ones to comment and like and share almost every Facebook post that we make. So thank you. And thank you for jumping at the opportunity to get in front of the members like this. I just want to reiterate to all of our associate members, we want to make this spotlight feature about you to the extent that you're comfortable having some, opportunity to get in front of people like Chadwell has taken the opportunity to do. We're here for you, and we want to help you as much as you help us during this time. So please don't hesitate to reach out. Happy Memorial Day, everyone. And thank you to everyone in our organization who has served and is currently serving in the armed forces. We appreciate you now more than ever, and just want to say thank you. I know a few of the folks we've interviewed on our weekly member spotlight have been veterans of the armed forces. So thank you, everyone. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll see you again next week. Thank you.